There used to be 1.5 million of them 100 years ago. Today, there are so few left that in 10 years, they might be extinct. What gets me is that it could all have been avoided. It was our greed that caused it. The African penguin is the only penguin in Africa. I'm privileged enough to be working in the biggest colony of the African penguin. Dawson Island is the second biggest of South Africa's islands. It's a bit weird for a person as young as I am to be living alone like this. But for me, I value this time that I have. As a child, I was involved in quite a number of environmental education programs. And it was like that we were planting an environmental seed in me, and it grew in and with me as I grew up. There's a number of monitoring duties that I'm tasked with. In basic terms, it's collecting data out in the field, which is at the end of the day analyzed, and it gives us an idea of what goes on, the breeding of the penguins. We check all the burrows in the area. This helps us in tracking the breeding seasonality of the birds. With the studies conducted before, it's been found that 80 to 90% of the time they do mate for life. But with the breeding study that we do here, some of these penguins, they've got tags on them, so you do find them mixed up sometimes. They're not absolutely monogamous. Some of them do cheat, if we may call it that. They do cheat on their mates. They're very good at parenting. They take turns feeding the chicks when they've hatched. So both parents are responsible for the chicks, which is, I mean, we can learn a lot from this as humans. Penguins and humans compete for the same food source. They eat sardines, we eat sardines. The monitoring that we do, we can actually tell how much they eat and the quotas that can then be given to fishermen and the quotas that can be set aside for consumption by the penguins. Most likely was abandoned and therefore not fed for a few days or even a week. It's sad. The numbers are going down as it is, which makes it even more important for us to go and check on the 2 chicks that I've seen in the past 3 weeks there. So those are the 2 chicks I was talking about. They've got adults around them, so looks like they're taken care of. They look really healthy. They're not going to need my rescuing today, so just going to head back and check up on them some other time when I'm in the area. The island is closed off from the public. It's one of the very few places which are only concentrated on conservation and conservation alone. If I weren't here, people would just come and walk all over the place. I've just been selected to go and represent South Africa as the Minister of Environment at the G8, G20 Youth Summit in Vancouver. With the work that we do, we need to go out there. Information needs to be taken to the people so people know exactly what's going on. The main message that I want to take across to the summit is the fact that we have a beautiful world. And what we still do have left, we must do all we can to keep that as natural as possible and preserve that for future generations.